Good evening, and welcome to Glenwood Tangle, a forest in Galler, between Stow-on-Side and Ballinley. Hello, welcome visitors. I'm glad you could join me here this evening. I will warn you, it is a little dark out here. Be careful where you step. In addition, the weather seems to have taken a turn for the damp. But we don't need to worry. We've found a safe spot where we can chat for a little bit. Here in Glenwood Tangle, in the Western Galler region. Glenwood Tangle is a dark, maze-like forest, which is filled with big, luminescent mushrooms. Touching these mushrooms causes them to grow more brightly. You know, I think it might be so rainy tonight, because earlier I saw a pelipper fly overhead. Perhaps she's the one who brought this storm to us as she flew west to the sea. Pelipper is a water and flying type Pokémon introduced in Generation 3. It evolves from Wingull starting at level 25. Before we proceed, I would like to say hello to anyone who's joined us for this little outing. Thanks for coming along. I'm glad you could make it. If perhaps you're here with me right now, know that I might not be quite as interactive as I usually am in my streams. But if you would like, there is a redeem to introduce a topic of your choosing. However, it needs to be from the same source material as mine. Tonight, we're going to be reviewing information about Pokemon, one of my favorite topics. If you have a Pokemon-related topic you would like to discuss, or you would like to hear more about, feel free to use that. Otherwise, this is a time to sit back and relax. There are lots of things that might worry you throughout the day, but here in the Glenwood Tangle, the magic in the air causes your shoulders to relax. Any tension you've held up in your body to be released, perhaps in your jaw, perhaps at the back of your neck. Take a moment, get comfortable. Maybe take a sip of water. I hope you brought your canteen with you, as trips through the forest can be a bit tiring. Your legs might be a little sore from walking all the way here, so take a load off. Pelipper, like the one I saw earlier, is a pelican-like Pokemon whose head and bill make up the majority of its body. It has white feathers with a short blue crest on top of its head. There are 3 blue digits on each of its wide white wings, and it has blue feet with 3 webbed digits. Each eye is made of 2 black semicircles, with a horizontal white line between them. Its large yellow its large yellow bill appears to extend along its underside. Inside Pelipper's bill is a throat pouch that it uses to carry eggs and small Pokémon, and is large enough to fit a small child in. It's not dark, it's just true. Skimming across the top of waves, it scoops food from the sea and swallows it in one gulp. It can swallow up to 30 wishy-washy in one go. It builds its nest on steep cliffs facing the sea. A young male Pelipper may be found to be in charge of gathering food and bringing it back to others to its nest. It can also be seen bobbing in the ocean while resting its wings. It loves to eat abandoned love discs that are too despondent to be wary near the sea surface. Welcome. I'm glad you could join me here tonight in the Glimwood Tangle. In the Galar region, we're talking about Pokémon. According to the Pokédex, Pelipper is the messenger of the skies. It carries small Pokémon and eggs to safety in its bill. It acts as a delivery service by carrying small Pokémon, eggs, letters, and other items that it can carry safely in its bill. Pelipper is able to learn the following moves as it levels up naturally. At level 1, or after evolution, Pelipper can learn the moves Protect, Soak, Quick Attack, Agility, Air Slash, Growl, Water Gun, Tailwind, Supersonic, Wing Attack, Water Pulse, Stockpile, Swallow, Spit Up, Fling, Mist, Roost, Hurricane, and Hydro Pump. Specially bred Pelipper can learn the following moves at hatching: Aerial Ace, Air Cutter, Aqua Ring, Gust, Knock Off, Soak, Twister, and Wide Guard. Via a special move tutor in Pokémon Sword and Pokémon Shield expansions, Pelipper can learn the move Dual Wing Beat. As I mentioned, the weather tonight was rather clear before you got here, but I saw a Pelipper flying toward the sea. Why do I think this Pelipper might have brought the rain with it? Well, you see, Pelipper can have an ability known as Drizzle. Drizzle is an ability introduced in Generation 3. Prior to Generation 5, it was the signature ability of the legendary Kyogre. In battle, from Generations 3 to 5, Drizzle summons rain in battle as soon as a Pokémon with Drizzle enters the battlefield. Its effects are similar to that of the move Rain Dance, but instead of lasting for a limited amount of turns, it lasts for a whole battle, unless it is replaced by another type of weather. If a Pokémon with Drizzle is sent out in the same turn as other Pokémon whose ability affects the weather, such as Drought or Sandstorm, the slower Pokémon's ability will override the faster Pokémon's ability. An example of Slow and Steady winning the race. However, after Generation 5 and starting in Generation 6, Drizzle only causes the rain produced to last for 5 turns. This can be extended to 8 turns if the Pokémon is holding the item Damp Rock. Drizzle will not activate if the Pokémon it's on is a Kyogre that is in position to undergo Primal Reversion. In that case, Primal Reversion will happen instead. Its ability will be replaced by Primordial Sea, and that ability will activate instead. Drizzle will also fail to activate if heavy rain, extremely harsh sunlight, or strong winds are already in effect. So now you can see why this Pelipper might be the culprit of our little rain shower. But perhaps this Pelipper wasn't the cause of the rain, but was merely prepared for it. You see, Pelipper can also have the ability Rain Dish. Rain Dish, translated from Japanese as Rain Saucer, is an ability introduced in Generation 3. Prior to Generation 5, it was the signature ability of Lotad's evolutionary line. A Pokémon with the ability Rain Dish will regain 1/16 of its maximum health at the end of each turn while the weather is set to rain. Perhaps this Pelipper simply saw a chance to gather a bit of nourishment by following the front of this storm. It may have also been pushed onward by the tailwind. As I understand, that is a move that Pelipper can gain access to. Pelipper's third and final possible ability is Keen Eye. Keen Eye is an ability introduced in Generation 3. In Generation 3, Keen Eye prevents other Pokémon from lowering the accuracy stat of the Pokémon with this ability. Effects that decrease accuracy without using stat stages, such as Wonder Skin and Sand Veil, are unaffected by Keen Eye. This ability can be ignored with the other abilities, Mold Breaker, Terravolt, and Turbo Blaze. Starting in Generation 6, Keen Eye also ignores the target's evasion stages. Outside of battle, from Pokémon Emerald onward, if a Pokémon with Keen Eye is in the first place in the party, even if fainted, there is a 50% chance it will prevent a wild random Pokémon encounter that would have occurred if the wild Pokémon would be at least 5 levels lower than the Pokémon with Keen Eye. It shares this effect with Intimidate. However, I must say I was rather surprised to see a Pelipper pass overhead here in the Glimwood Tangle, as they are not typically found here. He was just passing through, or she was just passing through. So, their stay was definitely going to be short. Pokemon you can typically find in this forest include Ponyta, Spritzy, Swirlix, Phantump, Shiinotic, Oranguru, Passimian, Sinistea, Hattrem, Morgrem, Indeedee, as well as Impidimp. Note that the Ponyta that live in this forest, being from Galar, are of course the Galarian form, while the original form of Ponyta is fire. Galarian Ponyta is psychic type and evolves into Galarian Rapidash at level 40. Galarian Ponyta has a small horn which hides its healing power. With a few rubs from this Pokemon's horn, any slight wound you have will be healed. This Pokemon will look into your eyes and read the contents of your heart. If it finds evil there, it promptly hides away. There are lots of psychic types that make their home in Glimwood Tangle. Perhaps it's something to do with the local fauna, the glowing mushrooms, and the ambiance. I meant flora. My apologies. Hattrem, in Japanese known as Tebrim, is a psychic type Pokemon introduced in Generation 8. It evolves from Hatenna, starting at level 32, and evolves into Hatterene, starting at level 42. Hattrem is a small, vaguely humanoid Pokemon with a pink body and a large, light blue hair that surrounds its head. It has a conical point on top of its hair that is pink at the bottom and white at the top, with the tip being crooked and tapering off at the end. This gives the hairs the appearance of a witch's hat. On the side of its hair are two large, blue, bulbous growths that appear to be held by pink rings. These growths resemble ponytails, and it uses them to stand on. It has two thin arms, lacking any digits, and a white ovular spot on its chest. Its waist extends out into two lumps, with very small, light blue, jointless and digitless legs. Its eyes have black sclerae and white pupils, with two pink dots for highlights that make its pupils vaguely resemble cartoon hearts. Hattrem makes use of its ponytails as hands, pummeling its foes with them. One blow from these ponytails would knock out a professional boxer. Hattrem will violently silence anything nearby, expressing feeling or strong emotions. Uh-oh, better be careful. We ought to be sure not to feel anything too strongly. Better go to sleep. Don't worry, if you're to nod off, I'll stay here and keep watch. No Pokemon should come by so long as we're under this mushroom, except perhaps for something soft and friendly that wants to cuddle. Other Pokemon you might find wandering these woods are Phantom, which are a grass and ghost type Pokemon introduced in Generation 6. It evolves into Trevenant when traded. Phantom is a ghostly Pokemon possessing a tree stump. Its black body is wispy with nubby arms. Covering its head is a brown tree stump with a wavy bunch on either side. Its red eyes are visible through 2 holes in the stump, and its mouth appears on the stump itself. There are 2 small green leaves near the tip of each branch. Brewing these leaves can create a curative tea-like liquid. Phantom is created when a spirit possesses a tree stump. It is said that the spirit is that of a child who became lost in the forest and died. This Pokemon's cries sound like the voice of a child. Listen, this was maybe not a page I should have read. My apologies. I'm trying to keep things pretty calm here, and I should have known better. Phantom, along with its evolved form, Trevenant, are the only known Pokemon capable of learning the move Forest's Curse. Phantom is able to have any of the following abilities: Frisk, Natural Cure, or Harvest. Natural Cure is an ability introduced in Generation 3 and is known in Japanese as Natural Recovery. Natural Cure heals any status conditions upon switching out. It will also heal any status conditions upon completing battle, if it was in a battle at the end of the battle. The effect will occur if Natural Cure is the Pokemon's ability in battle when it switches out and is not suppressed. A Pokemon that obtained the ability with Trace will have its status condition cured when it switches out, whereas a Pokemon which has Natural Cure but has been affected by Gastro Acid will not. From Generation 6 onward, Natural Cure automatically heals status conditions upon the end of a battle. I'm not sure why this page listed that twice. The following Pokemon can have the Natural Cure ability: Chansey, Staryu, Starmie, Corsola, Blissey, Celebi, Roselia, Swablu, Altaria, Budew, Roserade, Happiny, Shaman Landform, Phantom, Trevenant, and Comfey. Trivia: in Pokemon's Super Mystery Dungeon, Natural Cure is mistranslated as Natural Recovery, a direct translation of its Japanese name. Due to the user interface displaying how many of the Pokemon's opponents have status conditions, even though Natural Cure does not have an activation message, it is possible to deduce that a Pokemon had Natural Cure if the next time the Pokeballs representing the opponent's party are displayed. That's a helpful tip for all you competitive Pokemon players out there. If you're looking to be the very best, be sure to see what color your opponent's Pokeballs are to note if one has lost a condition it should have. Phantom can also gain the Harvest ability. Harvest is an ability introduced in Generation 5. It is described as, it may create another berry after one is used. In battle, if the Pokemon with this ability has used a berry, there is a 50% chance of it being restored at the end of each turn. The held berry is remembered even if it is not restored, or if the Pokemon has switched out. Harvest will always activate if the weather is harsh sunlight. I guess you won't be getting that added benefit tonight. Harvest can recover berries consumed by Fling and Natural Gift. However, Harvest cannot recover berries transferred to another Pokemon, berries destroyed by Incinerate, berries knocked off with the move Knock Off, or berries eaten with Bug Bite or Pluck. Harvest cannot restore a berry if it is collected by a Pokemon with Pickup. If more than one Pokemon has Pickup or Harvest, the faster Pokemon will restore an item first. A single Pokemon's Harvest will not activate more than once per turn. If the held berry is consumed immediately after it is restored, Harvest will not be able to restore it again until the next turn. Harvest can recover berries consumed that were originally another Pokemon's but transferred to the Pokemon with Harvest. However, a Pokemon may only have one consumed item, including non-berries, at a time. If a Pokemon consumes a berry, obtains another item, and consumes it, the original consumed berry cannot be restored by Harvest, even if the second item is restored and swapped away. If the Pokemon with Harvest obtains an item after consuming a berry, Harvest can still restore the old berry as long as the Pokemon has no held item and did not consume any other items, including non-berries, since consuming the old berry. Outside of battle, in Pokémon Sword and Pokémon Shield, if a Pokemon with Harvest is in the first place in the party, even if fainted, there is a 50% chance the game will force an encounter with a Grass-type Pokemon if one is possible. As a sort of counterpart to Harvest, let's next talk about the ability Pick Up. Pick Up is an ability introduced in Generation 3. It is described as, the Pokemon may pick up the item an opposing Pokemon used during a battle. It may pick up items outside of battle, too. Previously, it was described as, the Pokemon may pick up items, or simply, may pick up items. In battle, Pick Up had little ability prior to Generation 5. However, from Generation 5 onward, at the end of the turn in which another Pokemon has used a one-time use item, including throwing an item with Fling or using the move Natural Gift, a Pokemon with Pickup will collect the item if they are not holding anything. If more than one Pokemon has Pickup or Harvest, the faster Pokemon will restore an item first. If multiple items can be collected, the Pokemon will collect the item most recently consumed. A single Pokemon's Pickup ability will not activate more than once per turn. Pickup cannot collect an item if the Pokemon that consumed the item is no longer on the field at the end of the turn, or if the item has already been recovered, such as with Recycle, another Pokemon's Pickup, or the ability Harvest. Pickup cannot collect an item that the Pokemon consumed before switching out, even if it switched out back and back in before the end of the turn. Pickup cannot collect items that have been destroyed with Incinerate, eaten with Bug Bite or Pluck, or knocked off with the move Knockoff. A popped air balloon cannot be collected, but I suppose that only makes sense, doesn't it? Since air balloons lift Pokemon off the ground so they cannot be affected by ground-type moves, and a popped balloon, even if picked up, wouldn't provide any lift. Thank you again for all who have joined. It's a pleasure to see you here with me this evening in Glimwood Tangle, here in the Galar region. If you want to sit and lurk, it's appreciated. If, however, you're not ready for bed, I wouldn't mind if you waited until the time was right. A recording of this stream will be available on YouTube immediately after its conclusion. As a reminder, this is a chance to let go of any tension that may have built up. If you have a wandering mind, put it to rest. I've got all the thinking you need to do right now. Just droll facts and figures about our favorite, colorful, whimsical creatures, known as Pokemon. If your mind wants to race, focus on something that doesn't really matter. And hey, I've got plenty of information that doesn't really matter. Outside of battle, the ability Pickup allows a Pokemon, after winning a battle, if it is not already holding an item and has the ability Pickup, it has a 10% chance of creating a held item for itself, even if it did not participate in the battle. The Pokemon can find an item, even if it is fainted. Wow, the list of items Pokemon can find is really huge. I always discounted this ability because I was told it had no effect in combat. But I suspect that's just because some people prefer more conventional options than trusting luck. Pokemon that can have the ability Pickup are as follows: Meowth, both in its standard and Alolan, and Galarian forms; Aipom, Teddiursa, Vanpy, Zigzagoon, Galarian Zigzagoon, Linoon and its Galarian form, Pachyraisu, Munchlax, Lillipup, Bunnelby, Diggersby, Dedenne, Pumpkaboo, Gourgeist, Pikipek, and Trumbeak. Oh, my. What is that? Oh, I seem to have picked something up myself. Here, in the Glimwood Tangle. It's a clump of luminous moss, which is a type of held item introduced in Generation 6. It raises the holder's special defense when it is hit by a damaging water-type move. If the holder is hit by a water-type damaging move, it consumes the luminous moss, and its special defense is increased by 1 stage. It does not activate if the holder already has +6 special defense stat stages, unless its ability is contrary, in which case it will not activate if the holder has -6 special defense stat stages. It does not activate if the holder is protected from or unaffected by the water type move, for example, due to the ability Water Absorb or Wonder Guard. If multiple Pokemon, each holding an Absorb Bulb or Luminous Moss, are hit by a water type move at once, each Pokemon will consume their Absorb Bulb or Luminous Moss before Symbiosis transfers any item, including these items. For that reason, it's quite similar to the Absorb Bulb, a type of held item introduced in Generation 5. It raises the holder's special attack when it is hit by a damaging water type move. Similar to the Luminous Moss, the effect activates when the holder is hit by a damaging water type move, but instead of increasing its special defense, it increases its special attack. It does not activate if the holder already has +6 special attack stat changes, unless its ability is contrary, in which case it will not activate if the holder has -6 special attack stat stages. It does not activate if the holder is protected from water type moves or is unaffected by the water type. For example, having the ability Water Absorb or the ability Wonder Guard. If multiple Pokemon, each holding an Absorb Bulb or Luminous Moss, are hit by a water type move at once, each Pokemon will consume their Absorb Bulb or Luminous Moss before the ability Symbiosis transfers any of them. Symbiosis is an ability introduced in Generation 6. Prior to Generation 7, it was one of the signature abilities of Flabebe's evolutionary lines. Per the game's description, this ability causes the Pokemon to pass its item to an ally that has used up an item. In battle, if a Pokemon with Symbiosis has a held item, immediately after an ally's item is consumed, the Pokemon with Symbiosis will pass its item to that ally. Symbiosis may pass an item to a non-adjacent ally in a triple battle. Symbiosis triggers any time an ally Pokemon consumes its item, whether directly or through the use of Fling or Natural Gift. If a Pokemon eats another Pokemon's berry with Bite or Pluck and is not holding an item, its ally's Symbiosis will be triggered and give an item to the Pokemon that used that move. An air balloon popping will trigger Symbiosis. If multiple Pokemon on the same side of a triple battle or horde encounter have Symbiosis, then Symbiosis will trigger on the faster Pokemon, even while Trick Room is in effect. Symbiosis will not trigger if an ally's item is moved to a different Pokemon, such as due to Thief or Symbiosis itself, destroyed by Incinerate, or knocked off by Knockoff. If a type resist berry is consumed in response to an attack, Symbiosis will not activate until after damage is received. If an item is consumed using Fling or Natural Gift, Symbiosis will not activate until after the move deals damage. Symbiosis cannot transfer a Z crystal It cannot transfer a Griseous orb if either Pokemon is Giratina, a plate if either Pokemon is Arceus, a memory if either Pokemon is Silvally, a drive if either Pokemon is Genesect, a Megastone if either Pokemon can Mega Evolve using it, a blue orb if either Pokemon is Kyogre, or a red orb if either Pokemon is Groudon. Starting in Generation 6, if the ally of a Pokemon with Symbiosis consumes a gem by using a move, Symbiosis activates immediately. If the item would normally affect the power of the triggering move, then the new item's effect will be applied immediately. If a consumable item, except another gem, is received that can currently be activated, it will immediately do so. However, if a plate or drive is given to a Pokemon using Judgment or Technoblast after it has consumed a gem, the move's type will not change. Likewise, the Pokemon receives another gem via Symbiosis due to consuming a gem, it will not also consume the new gem. If you need to nod off, that's fine. As I said, I'm happy to keep watch. I'll make sure no Pokemon sleep on your face. Unless, of course, I think it would be very funny for that to happen, but I'll make sure it's a harmless Pokemon. Like a Hatena, perhaps. Who knows? Maybe an Oranguru will come by. I mention Oranguru because they can be found here in the Glimwood Tangle and can have the Symbiosis ability. Oranguru is a dual-type normal and psychic Pokemon introduced in Generation 7. It is not known to evolve into or from any other Pokemon, but it is considered to be a counterpart of Passimian. Oranguru is a simian Pokemon resembling an orangutan. While most of its body is covered in white fur, its hands, feet, and snout are bare, with its light gray skin visible. The fur around its head is under its chin is longer and creates the impression of a long beard. It has a broad, flat nose and a black-gray. Pardon me, I lost my place. The sounds of the forest distracted me. The fur around its head and under its chin is longer and creates the impression of a long beard. It has a broad, flat nose and a black area around its eyes. Underneath each eye is a yellow marking, which is encircled by a light blue ring marking. In the center of its forehead is a yellow marking shaped like a four-pointed star. A cape of purple fur covers its back and is divided into many wavy clumps with strands of orange and light blue throughout. Oranguru holds a fan created from green leaves woven together with its own purple fur. This solitary Pokemon spends its time deep in the forest, meditating high up in the trees. While it is not normally active, it will provide food to hungry Pokemon and give medicine to injured ones. It has even been known to use human tools or items, including Pokeballs. It has a lofty attitude and will give other Pokemon orders. This can make them difficult Pokemon for trainers to handle. Ancient people actually thought Oranguru were people and called them the people of the forests. Oranguru does not get along with others of its kind, often battling out their wits for superiority. It will also occasionally venture to the beach to match wits with Slow King. Oranguru is the only known Pokemon capable of learning the move Instruct. Oranguru can learn the following moves naturally by level up. At level 1, it can learn Confusion and Taunt. It can learn After You at level 5, Calm Mind at level 10, Stored Power at level 15, Psych Up at level 20, Quash at level 25, Nasty Plot at level 30, Zen Headbutt at level 35, Trick Room, Psychic, Instruct, Foul Play, and Future Sight at later levels. Specially bred Oranguru can start with the moves Dream Eater, Extrasensory, Last Resort, and Yawn. Yawn. Excuse me. Yawn came over me. By tutoring, Oranguru can learn the moves Expanding Force and Terrain Pulse. If transferred from another generation, Oranguru can learn Block, Charge Beam, Confide, Covet, Double Team, Gravity, Knock Off, Magic Coat, Nature Power, Pain Split, Spite, Swagger, and Toxic. It can also learn Embargo, Feint Attack, Frustration, Hidden Power, Return, Snatch, and Telekinesis. However, these moves cannot be used in Generation 8 as they do not exist in the game's files for some dumb reason. It was a really bad choice of the developers to take out moves. Why would they do that? They made a lot of choices this generation, but we're not going to get too into it because we refuse to get too mad. We need to keep our emotions calm, remember? Otherwise, a Hatterene might come around and beat us up for having negative vibes. So it's good vibes only here in the Glenwood Tangle, in the Western Gala region, where they decided to remove the move Return. Why Return? It's such a good move. It has a base power that scales with a Pokemon's happiness, so that a completely happy Pokemon deals a lot of damage. It is a consistent 100% accuracy normal type physical move. It was bread and butter for a lot of Pokemon sets, especially normal types who had the ability adaptability? Yes, adaptability. But we won't get into it. I mean, I can get them getting rid of moves like telekinesis because that's been in the game since Generation 1, but barely anyone knows it exists because it doesn't do anything good and so few Pokemon get it. But they also take out moves like Hidden Power. They just get rid of Hidden Power. Like it's no big deal, like it's fine, like nobody's gonna notice or care that they got rid of Hidden Power. A move that literally everyone Pokemon benefited from having. A move that was so universal, it made a lot of bad Pokemon pretty good because it gave them coverage they otherwise lacked. But I suppose it means that Pokemon need to rely on their inborn move pools rather than outsourcing to gimme catch-all like hidden power. I'm not a developer. What do I know? I do know that I hate that they took out the move hidden power. Sorry, I'm moving on. Let's talk about Swirlix. I think I see one, peeking behind my hair sometimes. Do you see it? It's a Swirlix. Just taking a little perch on a tree branch, I think. Sorry, I need to clean out a few tabs. There we go. Swirlix is a fairy-type Pokemon introduced in Generation 6. It evolves into Slurpuff when traded holding a Whipped Dream. Swirlix is a small, round Pokemon covered with fluffy white fur. It has reddish-pink eyes with white pupils, round ears with light pink tips, a tiny reddish-pink nose, and is often seen with its tongue poking out of the corner of its mouth. Listen, I'm just glad that someone is here to listen to me rant. Even if they might be asleep, that's fine. But knowing that someone heard that's all I needed. Remember, if you have any tension in your shoulders, just let that go. Don't picture game developers making the most profitable game franchise, literally the most profitable game franchise in video game history, and yet they don't pay for the time or resources needed to really think things through sometimes, and we're not focusing on that. Remember, if you hold tension in your back or your shoulders, take a deep breath, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's do a couple breathing exercises, shall we? We're going to breathe in for a count of 4, hold that breath for a count of 5, and then breathe out for a count of 6. Again, that's in for 4, holding for 5, and exhaling for 6. Let's go. In, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold it for 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's great. You can resume your normal breathing rhythm. In between Swirlix's ears is a more prominent tuft of fur. Poking out of the bottom of its fur is a light pink tail. Its feet are usually tucked up in its fur, but when they are visible, they are seen to be a light pink and have 3 toes. Swirlix only eats sweets, which makes its fur as sticky as cotton candy. It is said to smell like cotton candy. When I was in human school, there was a girl in my junior high class who always wore a Britney Spears perfume that smelled like cotton candy. I don't remember what it was called, but I want to say it was Baby or something. But now I know she wasn't trying to smell like Britney Spears. She was trying to smell like a Swirlix. Swirlix can entangle its opponents with a white, sticky thread moving on. The amount of sugar it eats is equal to its weight. It is known to become grumpy if it doesn't eat enough sugar. Same girl, same. Swirlix can naturally learn the moves Tackle and Sweet Scent at level 1, Play Nice at level 3, Fairy Wind at level 6, Aromatherapy at level 9, Draining Kiss at level 12, Fake Tears at level 15, Round at level 18, String Shot at level 21, Cotton Spore at level 25, Energy Ball at level 27, Wish at level 30, Play Rough at level 33, Cotton Guard at level 36, and Endeavor at level 39. Welcome, Moon Lagoon. We are in Blue Tangle in the Western Gala region this evening. Specially bred Swirlix can learn the moves After You, Copycat, Sticky Web, and Yawn. Thank you. A tutored Swirlix can learn the move Misty Explosion. As a reminder, in case you're just joining, this stream is a chance to let go of any racing thoughts. I know for me, sometimes I can feel overwhelmed by all of the things I feel that I need to be thinking about. But this is a chance to let go of the thoughts that you don't need to be holding on to right now, of the tension you may have slowly built up in your shoulders or your back. I recommend, if you need to go to bed, put on this playlist. I will have a playlist of VODs of my ASMR streams on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Tonight, we're talking about Pokemon facts while visiting this forest in the Pokemon region of Galar. A Pokemon found in this forest is Swirlix, which is why we're talking about some of its statistics. Swirlix, in previous generations, could learn the moves Belly Drum, Confide, Covet, Double Team, Dream Eater, Flash, Frustration, Gastro Acid, Heal Bell, Hidden Power, Magic Coat, Psych Up, Return, Secret Power, Swagger, and Toxic. Oh no, I think Swirlix might be the Britney Spears Pokemon. Baby, can't you see? I'm calling. A guy like you should wear a warning. You're dangerous. I'm falling. Those are lyrics from Britney Spears' Toxic, a move that Swirlix could learn in Generation 6 and 7. Swirlix can have the ability Sweet Veil. Sweet Veil is an ability introduced in Generation 6. Prior to Generation 7, it was the signature ability of Swirlix and its evolution, Slurpuff. The flavor text states, prevents itself and ally Pokemon from falling asleep. In battle, Sweet Veil prevents Pokemon with this ability and its allies, including non-adjacent allies in triple battles, from falling asleep. Rest will fail when used by the Pokemon with this ability or an ally, unless the user has an ability that ignores other abilities. Sweet Veil causes Yawn to fail if used on the Pokemon or its allies, including non-adjacent allies, and prevents the Pokemon and its allies, already drowsy due to Yawn, from falling asleep. Sweet Veil has no effect outside of battle, so don't worry. If you see a Swirlix or a Slurpuff float by, if you see them pass by, don't worry. They're not going to battle, and Sweet Veil won't activate, and you should be able to fall asleep just fine. Swirlix can also have the ability Unburden. Unburden is an ability introduced in Generation 4. Prior to Generation 5, it was the signature ability of Drifloon and Drifblim. The flavor text states that it boosts the speed stat if the Pokemon's held item is used or lost. In battle, Unburden doubles the Pokemon's speed stat when the Pokemon's held item is lost. This includes items that were lost via Knockoff, Thief, Incinerate, Bug Bite, and Pluck, as well as if an air balloon has popped. If there is no held item to begin with, or if a held item is traded for another, Unburden will not be activated. This boost is lost if the Pokemon is switched out, or loses Unburden, or gains a held item. Regaining Unburden if it had been lost does not restore a previous boost. If Unburden is suppressed by the ability Neutralizing Gas, a new boost cannot be gained, but a previous boost will return once Neutralizing Gas leaves the field. Outside of battle, Unburden has no effect. The following Pokemon can have the Unburden ability: Hitmonlee, Trico, Grovyle, Sceptile, Drifloon, Drifblim, Purloin, Liepard, Axelgor, Swirlix, Slurpuff, Hawlucha, Nickit, and Thievul. In other games, in the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series, as long as a Pokemon with Unburden is not holding an item, it attacks or uses moves twice in one turn. Moves affected by this only have one power point deducted, despite being used twice. Oh, what's this? I found a TM. It's TM24. Here in the Galar region, TM24 is a special move called Snore, a normal type move. Snore is a damage-dealing, normal type move introduced in Generation 2. In Generation 2, it was TM13. In Generation 8 onwards, it is TM24. Snore has a base power point of 15, maximum of 24, a base power of 50, accuracy of 100%. It does not make contact. It is affected by Protect. It is not affected by Magic Coat or by Snatch, but it can be affected by Mirror Move and King's Rock and counts as a sound-based move. In Generation 2, Snore can only be used if the user is sleeping. It will fail in any other case. Snore inflicts damage and has a 30% chance of causing the target to flinch. If Sleep or Snore is used at least once consecutively in turns right before switching out, the Pokemon will sleep for the same amount of turns as were remaining prior to the usage of those two moves when switched back in. Thank you, DJ100K, for the hydrate. I'm gonna take a nice deep sip of water. I've been collecting the rainwater as it falls in a cup that I placed just outside the shadow of this umbrella-like mushroom overhead of us. Please pardon me while I take a sip. Thank you for the redeem, and I do just want to say, if I may get a little personal here, a bit sentimental, that was my first redeem as I just hit affiliate on Twitch, and this is my first stream after that. If you're enjoying this stream, let me know. I would love to do more comfy bedtime ASMR content in the future. I see the request from Moon Lagoon over on YouTube that I should read some poetry in the future. I will definitely be doing that. As I said, all of my comfy ASMR content will be provided as a VOD immediately after the stream, in case you need to listen to it again at a later date, and I will do my best to ensure that those videos are not monetized, so there are not obnoxious ads that may disturb someone trying to fall asleep. Oh, and for those of you who have expressed concern, wow! Thank you, Sylvan Agaric. You are my first subscriber. Thank you. Welcome to the cosmetic crew. Cosmetic, of course, is the term for anyone who's a fan of me, a Cosmo fanatic. Oh, thank you also for the follow, Moon Lagoon. In Generations 4 and 5, the move Snore. Turns where Snore is used are always counted toward the waking Pokemon. Wait, hold on. Turns where Snore is used are always counted towards waking the Pokemon. Oh, I see what it's saying. Ah, I understand. That took me a moment. From Generation 6 onward, Snore's power was changed from base 40 to base 50. Snore will become a water-type move when used by a Pokemon with the ability Liquid Voice. If the user is affected by Throat Chop, it will be unable to use this move for 2 turns. Snore will have its base power boosted by 30% when a Pokemon with the ability Punk Rock uses it. The damage dealt by Snore will also be halved when used against a Pokemon with Punk Rock. If the user is holding a Throat Spray item, it will be consumed, and the user's special attack will be raised by 1 stage. Snore can also be used as part of a contest spectacular combination, with the user gaining an extra 3 appeal points if Rest was used in the prior turn. The following Pokemon can learn Snore by leveling up. Snorlax, Teddiursa, Ursaring, Spoink, Grumpig, Barboach, Whiscash, Spheal, Celio, Walrein, and Dedenne. There are a lot of other Pokemon that can learn Snore, but it's a bit of a sensitive topic for me because I also have a bit of a tendency to snore from time to time. Something about the pressure level of Earth's atmosphere causes me to require to use some special equipment while sleeping here on Earth. So I don't want to talk about snoring anymore. Instead, let's talk about the ability Liquid Voice. Liquid Voice is an ability introduced in Generation 7. It is the signature ability of Popplio's evolutionary line. The flavor text is that all sound-based moves become water-type moves. In battle, Liquid Voice, as the flavor text states, turns the Pokemon's sound-based moves into water-type moves. The following moves are affected by Liquid Voice and have a Pokemon that can learn them, that can have the ability Liquid Voice. Confide, Disarming Voice, Echoed Voice, Growl, Hyper Voice, Perish Song, Round, Sing, Snore, and Uproar. Although other sound-based moves are also affected by the ability, they cannot be learned by any Pokemon with Liquid Voice. They may, however, be called via Metronome, Mirror Move, Copycat, or Mimic, or be used by a Pokemon that gained Liquid Voice by an ability like Trace or Receiver, or a move such as Skill Swap or Roleplay. Liquid Voice has no effect outside of battle. Popplio, Brione, and Primarina are the three Pokemon capable of having the ability Liquid Voice. Primarina is a dual-type water and fairy Pokemon introduced in Generation 7. It evolves from Brione, starting at level 34, and is the final form of Popplio. Primarina is known as the soloist Pokemon and can have the ability Torrent or Liquid Voice, Primarina is a marine Pokemon that resembles a cross between a sea lion and a mermaid. Most of its body is white, but has a long, fish-like tail. It has a long snout with a round, pink nose, bright blue eyes with long, white eyelashes, and long blue hair trailing off the back of its head. A tiara-like structure rests on its forehead, consisting of a line of pearls with a pink star at one corner and a thin, transparent blue fin extending back over its hair. Its hair is contained to a ponytail by 2 strings of pearls. This ponytail, as shown in the games and anime, becomes temporarily undone when it performs certain moves. On its body are 3 fins similar to the one on its crown, one that drapes around its shoulders and chest, one around its waist where the fishtail begins, and one near the tip of its tail. It has long front fins with 3 digits. Primarina's long, fish-like tail is bright blue, with small, pointed pink fins around its hips. Its tail fins are white, and it is capable of using them as feet to stand up. Primarina uses water balloons and its voice as its main weapons. Because its voice is instrumental in its battle strategy, its care should be a priority for trainers. The melody it uses has been passed down for generations. Water balloons are released once it dances, and are controlled by its voice. In the moonlight, the balloons glitter and create a beautiful scene. However, some of the balloons are explosive and triggered by touch. This theatrical Pokémon considers every battle a stage, and uses the non-explosive balloons as platforms to tease opponents. Primarina is the only Pokémon capable of learning the exclusive Z move, Oceanic Operetta. Primarina can learn the following moves naturally via level up. Sparkling Aria at level 1, Pound at level 1, Growl at level 1, Water Gun at level 1, and Disarming Voice at level 1. Primarina learns the move Sparkling Aria upon evolution. At level 9, Primarina learns Aqua Jet and Baby Doll Eyes at level 12. Icy Wind at level 15, Sing at level 20, Bubble Beam at level 25, Encore at level 30, Misty Terrain at level 37, Hyper Voice at level 44, Moon Blast at level 51, and Hydro Pump at level 58. Specially bred Primarina. Well, of course they are born as Poplio, but can be raised into Primarina that know the move Aqua Ring, Life Dew, or Perish Song. Move tutors can teach Primarina the moves Flip Turn, Hydro Cannon, Misty Explosion, Triple Axle, and Water Plunge. Primarinas transferred from another generation can learn the moves Aqua Tail, Aromatic Mist, Confide, Covet, Double Team, Echoed Voice, Magic Coat, Psych Up, Swagger, Toxic, and Water Pulse, while moves like Captivate, Double Team, Frustration, Hidden Power, and Return were, you guessed it, removed by developers. Why? Who knows? Oh, I scrolled down on the page to get to the trivia section and saw a shiny Primarina, which I haven't seen for the first time. I haven't seen prior that I can recall. Perhaps I have, but it didn't spring to mind, and I think I would remember it, because it has pale, lemon yellow colored hair, making it appear blonde, which is, well, at least it's not an all green or barely different shiny. That's all I will say. Trivia. Primarina has the highest base special attack stat, base special defense stat, and single base stat of all fully evolved starter Pokemon, excluding Mega Evolutions. Primarina is the only starter Pokemon to have the Fairy type. Primarina and its pre-evolved forms are the only starter Pokemon to have a Piscine body. Additionally, it is the only Fairy type Pokemon to have a Piscine body. Official confidential art featuring Decidueye, Incineroar, Primarina, and the trial Captain Mallow was leaked on the internet on June 4th, 2016. This leak happened 145 days before these Pokemon were officially revealed on October 27th, 2016. From the leaked material, it is known that Primarina's code name was Sea Lion 3 during development. Origin. Primarina is based on a sea lion. It also shares elements with a mermaid, with inspiration from sirens. It may also draw some inspiration from Selkies. Primarina may be a combination of prima donna, marina, and prima ballerina. The more you know. It seems the rain isn't letting up. Perhaps we should make our way north, to Ballinley. Ballinley is a small secluded town situated in a dense forest in the northwestern Galar region. The town's sole access route via land is through Glenwood Tangle, which is located to the south where we are now. The town is surrounded by towering trees, and its paths are lined by many glowing mushrooms. The houses in Ballinley resemble the design of common, half-timbered cottages in traditional Tudor architecture. Tudor. Due to being nestled within a forest, Ballinley is quite dark. The glowing mushrooms provide most of the light outside, with very few street lamps installed. Opal serves as Ballinley's gym leader in Pokémon Sword and Shield, specializing in fairy-type Pokémon. The Pokémon Center is located in the southeastern corner of Ballinley and is the first building that the player arrives at upon entering the town from Glenwood Tangle to the south, and certain a welcome respite to many who may have needed to fight past some of the more ornery Pokémon that make their home here in Glenwood Tangle. Thank you for the hydrate redeem. I just took a sip, which was maybe illegal, but I'm taking another one. Thank you, TJ. 100K. The magic in the air here is palpable. It is. Perhaps it's the rain, because while they call it foul weather, I find it quite fair. I love a gloomy, drizzly evening. Oh, I don't know if I have that command set up. I'm sorry, I'm still rather new to this. Other Pokemon that make their home in rainy places include one of my favorite, Ludicolo, the carefree Pokemon. It's a dual water type and grass type Pokemon introduced in Generation 3. It evolves from Lombre when exposed to a water stone. It is the final evolutionary form of Lotad. Ludicolo is a bipedal Pokemon that appears to be a mixture of a pineapple and a duck. There is a green sombrero-like growth on its head, similar to a lily pad. Growing out of the top of its head is a short brown stem with a yellow, spiky upper portion. Ludicolo has black eyes surrounded by a patch of green and an orange bill. Its body is covered with shaggy yellow fur and has several zigzagging brown stripes. The female has thinner stripes than the male. Ludicolo has large green hands with 2 black lines on its palms and thick green legs with a black circle on the underside of its feet. Ludicolo becomes more powerful when it hears festive music and will appear near laughing children on hikes. As it becomes energetic and active, it will break into dance, being the result of evolution via the evolution stone, Water Stone. A Ludicolo is rarely found in the wild, though they can be found occasionally near the water's edge. Ludicolo can have the Swift Swim ability. Swift Swim, in Japanese known as Smooth Swim, is an ability introduced in Generation 3. In battle, during the rain weather condition, the speed stat of Pokemon with this ability are doubled. Pokemon that can have the Swift Swim ability are often revered in competitive battles on teams that rely on rainy weather. Such Pokemon include Psyduck, Golduck, Poliwag, Poliwhirl, Poliwrath, Horsea, Goldeen, Seaking, Magikarp, Omanite, Omastar, Kabuto, Kabutops, Quillfish, Mantine, Kingdra, Swampert, but only Mega Swampert, Lotad, Lombre, Ludicolo, Surskit, Anorith, Armaldo, Phoebus, Huntail, Goribus, Relicanth, Lovedisk, Buizel, Floatzel, Finneon, Luminion, Vantike, Timpole, Palpitoad, Seismitoad, Tirtuga, Caracosta, Beartic, Choodle, Dreadnought, Aracuda, and Barrascuda. Trivia: Anorith and Armaldo are the only Pokemon with the ability Swift Swim that are also weak to water. Swift Swim is the most common ability among all Pokemon, with a total of 42 Pokemon sharing this ability. It is very similar to other abilities, Chlorophyll, Sandrush, and Slush Rush, which also double Pokemon speed stats in sunlight, sandstorm, and hail weather conditions, respectively. Other abilities that are affected by rainy weather are Dry Skin, Rain Dish, Hydration, and that's it. Oh, and also Forecast. Forecast. Let's go through these abilities together. Hydration, in Japanese, moist body, gross, is an ability introduced in Generation 4. At the end of each turn, if it is raining, hydration will cure the Pokemon of any non-volatile status condition. It cures a status condition, but if it cures a status condition, it does so before burn or poison damage is dealt on that turn. Pokemon who are made drowsy by yawn will not fall asleep until after hydration takes effect, and as such will not be healed until the end of the next turn. Hydration has no effect outside of battle. Pokemon that can have the hydration ability include Seal, Dewgong, Lapras, Vaporeon, Smoochum, Wingull, Barboach, Whiscash, Goribus, Lovedisc, Fione, Manaphy, Timpole, Palpitoad, Ducklet, Swanna, Alomomola, Shelmet, Axelgore, Goomy, Sliggoo, and Goodra. Thank you for the follow, Ron and Hina. Hina? 2. Welcome to the cosmetic crew. Cosmetic, of course, meaning Cosmo Fanatic. As you may have noticed, I do have my redeems set up on Twitch. While many of them can't really come into play, one that might be of interest to you is the Suggest a Topic redeem, which allows you to provide me with a topic I should talk about, but it does need to be on theme. Today, we're talking about Pokemon, since we're here in the Pokemon world, in Glenwood Tangle, in the Northwest Galar region. The next ability that is affected by rainy weather is Dry Skin. Dry Skin is an ability introduced in Generation 4. It can be affected by 2 different weather conditions. In battle, during harsh sunlight, a Pokemon with Dry Skin will lose 1/8 of its maximum HP at the end of each turn. During rain, a Pokemon with Dry Skin will regain 1/8 of its maximum HP at the end of each turn. Fire-type attacks do 25% more damage to a Pokemon with Dry Skin. When a Pokemon with Dry Skin is hit by a Water-type move, its HP is restored by 1/4 of its maximum HP, and the move will have no effect on that Pokemon. If a Pokemon with this ability already has full HP, the Water-type move will do nothing. The effect will not activate if the Pokemon is protected from the Water-type move. Multi-strike moves such as Water Shuriken will only affect this once. If a Pokemon with Dry Skin is holding a Luminous Moss or Absorb Bulb, Dry Skin absorbs the Water-type move, so the item's effect is not triggered. Dry Skin has no effect outside of battle. Pokemon that can have the Dry Skin ability include Paras, Parasect, Jynx, Croagunk, and Toxicroak, as well as Helioptile and Heliolisk. The final ability that is affected by the weather condition rain is Forecast, in Japanese, Temperamental. That's pretty clever. This is an ability introduced in Generation 3 and is the signature ability of the Pokemon Castform. Depending on the weather, Forecast will change Castform's form, which also changes its type. Castform changes as follows. During harsh sunlight or extremely harsh sunlight, it will become Sunny form, which is a fire type. During hail, it will become Snowy form, which is ice type. During rain or heavy rain, it will become Rainy form, which is water type. During a sandstorm, fog, strong winds, or a shadowy aura, or clear weather, it will revert to its normal form, which is normal type. It will also revert to its normal form if a Pokemon on the field has Cloud 9 or Airlock. The ability has no effect if transferred to Pokemon other than Cast Form. Forecast does not change Cast Form's form until after Stealth Rock deals damage, meaning swapping in a Cast Form during harsh sunlight is not nearly as punishing as swapping in a normal Fire-type Pokemon. In Generation 5, Forecast can be suppressed with Gastro Acid, and Cast Form will be stuck in its current form. While it could previously be copied by Roleplay and Trace, starting in Generation 4, Forecast cannot be copied by Trace. From Generation 5 onwards, if a Pokemon transforms into Cast Form, the Pokemon will remain in the same form as the Cast Form, regardless of the weather. If Cast Form loses Forecast, or if Forecast is suppressed with Gastro Acid, it will revert to its normal form and will not be able to change form. If Cast Form regains Forecast, it will change form to match the current weather, unless it would be in its normal form in the current weather. Welcome, follower, sucking Tom Cruise's toes. Do you happen to know Mike Tyson? Roleplay fails if the target has the ability Forecast. Entrainment fails if the user has the ability Forecast. Forecast cannot be copied by Power of Alchemy or Receiver. Outside of battle, Forecast has no effect. The following Pokemon can have the Forecast ability: Cast Form, Cast Form, Cast Form, and Cast Form, with the final 3 Cast Forms being the Sunny, Rainy, and Snowy forms, respectively. Listen, only Cast Form can get this ability. This ability is basically just Cast Form, the ability. I don't entirely know why they haven't reused it on another Pokemon, because I think it would be cool to have others that shift form with the weather. But so far we haven't seen that, and the choices they're making, well, okay, I know that I have made... It sounds like you really know your stuff, Tom Cruise's toes. Thank you for forcing me to say that. That's it. I lost my place. Oh right, we were talking about Cast Form, weren't we? Oh, before you arrived, I have been wandering around Glenwood Tangle for a little bit, and met a cook by the name of Derek, who was standing west of the crossroads. And he had picked up this item that was on the ground here. It is a bright powder. The bright powder, or in Japanese translated as light powder, is a type of held item introduced in Generation 2 that decreases the accuracy of an opponent. Prior to Generation 6, it was formatted as bright powder, no spaces. That's bright powder. There's not a ton of interesting facts to read to you about it, but I found one here. Apparently they can be found here in Glenwood Forest occasionally. There are a great many forests in the Pokemon world, including Viridian Forest, Berry Forest, Pattern Bush, Ilex Forest, Johto Safari Zone's forest area, Mirage Forest, Petalburg Forest, Trackless Forest, Eterna Forest, Bewilder Forest, Entry Forest, Lostlorn Forest, Pinwheel Forest, White Forest, Pledge Grove, Santaloon Forest, Route 20, The Winding Woods, Lush Jungle, Forest of Focus, Glenwood Tangle, and the Slumbering Weald. There are a few other forests in spin-off games, but are we counting the spin-off franchise? I haven't played a whole lot of them, so I don't feel apt to speak on them at this time. Let's talk about Ballinlay's gym leader, since she likes to train in these forests, or at least she used to. Opal is the gym leader of Ballinlay's gym, known officially as Ballinlay Stadium. She specializes in fairy-type Pokémon. She gives the Fairy Badge to trainers who defeat her. During the events of Pokémon Sword and Pokémon Shield, she chooses Bede as her successor and passes her gym leader title on to him, or prepares to. In the games, Opal is designated the 5th gym leader Galarian trainers face in their gym challenge. Opal became the Ballinlay gym leader at the age of 18, inheriting the position from her mother. 50 years prior to the events of Pokémon Sword and Pokémon Shield, she battled against Mustard for the title of Galar League champion, but was defeated despite her Fairy-type Pokémon having a type advantage over Mustard's fighting types. Sounds rigged if you ask me. Opal is incredible, and we respect Opal in this house. She's our Galar gym leader 50 years ago. Mustard can go. Huff my shorts. I love to wear shorts. Any season. They're comfy and easy to wear. Opal is also known by her nickname Wizard due to her supposed ability to predict her opponent's moves in battle. Due to her old age, by the time of Pokémon Sword and Shield, her gym missions double as an audition to seek a successor for herself. Opal is seen at Motostoke Stadium for the gym's challenge opening ceremony. She later appears on Route 6, watching as the player and Hop battle a pair of Team Yell Grunts, and at Stow Onside to observe the player's battle with Hop. After being defeated in a gym battle, she offers to escort the player to Hammerlock so that they can get to their next gym sooner. In Hammerlock, she notices Bede and instantly sees him as a worthy a worthy successor, taking him with her back to Ballinlay. By the time the Champion Cup in Wyndon is held, Opal has officially passed her mantle as a fairy-type gym leader to Bede, although she still occasionally shows up at the gym to give him advice. Due to her retirement, Opal does not participate in the post-game champion tournaments, which is a real bummer because her her dialogue lines would have been very funny. She was always a hoot and one of the better things about the game. I will say, the character design and characters in general in Generation 8 Pokemon games were quite good, and I did like them a lot, though I will say Hop was surprisingly similar to How. I wasn't particularly taken by Hop, but I did fall in love with Bede, and also have jammed out to Bede's theme a number of times. You should check it out in the morning, but right now, you ought to go to sleep. According to Opal's League cards, Opal is the oldest gym leader in the Galar region. She took over for her mother 70 years ago and has kept the position since. However, she feels that her own values have reached their limits, and thus she is currently looking for a worthy successor. She claims that she deliberately gives tricky quizzes because people reveal their true colors when in a pinch, but many speculate that in reality, she does it out of pure spite. If you were to collect her rare league card, it reads, Opal has thrust the duties of gym leader onto Bede, who had his gym challenger status revoked. That being said, she still shows up at the gym stadium every day, giving unsolicited advice, coming up with new quiz questions, and practicing various performance. What is this pink she insisted others to show her? Maybe a clue lies in a comment she made during an old interview. Keep thinking about the right answer, and eventually you'll create the right answer. Trivia. Opal keeps her Pokémon in Ultra Balls. Opal's uniform number is 910, which can be read in Japanese as Goro Awase for Kyuto, meaning cute. Opal is the only Galar gym leader not to appear on the Isle of Armor. She is also the only Galar gym leader not to be rematched in single battles. The in-game model of Opal has the logo of Hijiki Oka printed on her uniform, similar to those of Balinlay Stadium gym trainers and gym leader Bede. However, it is rarely visible during actual gameplay. Opal has failed both Leon and Sonia for the audition of gym leader. Leon only got one answer correct, while Sonia answered all 3 questions correctly. Opal noted that while both were talented trainers, Leon was hard to read, and Sonia gave up a little too quickly. Leon only got one answer correct in his challenge with Opal? That sounds about right. That dude is a total himbo. Which means, well, I think you know what a himbo is. Is himbo good to say for ASMR? Himbo. Himbo. Speaking of himbos, another gym leader in Galar is a total himbo. Milo is the gym leader of Turfield's gym, known officially as Turfield Stadium. He specializes in grass-type Pokemon. He gives the grass badge to trainers who defeat him. Milo is the first gym leader Galarian trainers face in their gym challenge. He is a farmer that honed his skills working on his farm with his Pokemon, and can often be seen in Turfield trying to wrangle Wooloo with his farm's herding Yamper. Despite his size and strength, Milo is a gentle, laid-back trainer who has trouble giving it all he has on weaker opponents, and doesn't worry about winning or losing so long as each party is having fun. Nessa considers Milo her rival as revealed in her league card, but Milo doesn't seem to acknowledge this, claiming the only rival he has is himself. See? what did I say? He's a himbo. Well, actually, himbos are supposed to always respect women, and I hope this isn't him being dismissive of women, but rather not wanting to pick a fight. That's how I choose to read it. But also, okay, this article does editorialize a bit, mentioning his size, because let's be honest, he's a little thick. He's got, he's got some dumps like a truck. He's got some thighs like what? Well, to be honest, it's sort of hard to see his thighs, but you can see the general shape of them, like at the knee, and you can see that he's got delts. He's a little built, but he's also pretty short. Like, I think I remember seeing art of him next to Nessa, and she's way taller than he is, so he's like a short king, which, hey, he can get on board with. I'm 4'11", love a short king. Not saying anything against people who are short, but the article was referring to his size, and I don't think, well, for me to editorialize, I don't think they're talking about his height, and that's fine. If you're to collect Milo's League cards in Pokémon Sword and Shield, they read as follows. This trainer was born as the son of farmers. He has honed his strength, stamina, and skill as a Pokémon trainer from a young age by working together with his Pokémon. Because of his gentle nature, he has trouble going all out on weaker opponents, which is why his gym is the first one for challengers to attempt during the gym challenge. He always wears his boots, as apparently they let him dig in his heels when he needs to. If you're to collect his special rare league card, it reads, though his record isn't the best due to his focus on simply having fun in battles, Milo himself is incredibly strong. The rolls of hay used in his gym challenge each weigh over 770 pounds, yet Milo can roll them around easily. Okay, as someone who also was raised on a farm when first arriving here on Earth, let me just say, those should be called bales of hay, not rolls of hay. Rolls of hay? That's dumb. Also, 770 pounds. Yep, that's about right. That's about how much a bale of hay, well, that's not even a particularly large bale of hay. I know some of them, round bales, like the ones pictured in the game, that can be much, much heavier. Closer to a ton. This isn't Pokemon, but I hope you won't mind if I share a small anecdote with you. As I mentioned, when I first arrived here on Earth, after being passed from government facility to government facility, my siblings and I wound up on a farm in the rural Midwest of the United States. While attending human school, we also occasionally helped out around the farm. This weather reminds me of a task I did with my host family here on Earth. The weather was just starting to turn. They had finished baling a large amount of hay and had finished organizing it into big stacks, several wide by several tall. I liked to play on the bales with other kids on the farm, but before the rainstorm rolled in, all hands were needed on deck to help put a big tarp over the bales, because if they got wet, they could rot or spoil and be no good as using for livestock feed. So everyone on the farm worked together. One person got the forklift and would bring the large pile of heavy plastic tarps over to the stack of hay. Meanwhile, everyone else got into formation, with a couple people getting to the top of the stack and several others on either side of the hay bales. Even though the bales were much taller than I was, and they were stacked wide and high, I did my best to help out, taking advantage of my ability to levitate slightly to navigate between the top of the stack and the bottom of the stack, passing ropes back and forth and straps to people who needed to grab them, as well as collecting items that may have been dropped from above. One by one, the heavy plastic tarps, many of them made out of old billboard signs that had been repurposed, would be passed to the folks on the top of the hay bales. They would slowly but efficiently unfurl them, dropping down straps that are connected, sewn on to the tarps over the edges. Meanwhile, the teams at the bottom would pull the straps taut, making sure that wind and rain wouldn't be able to get up beneath the tarp and would cause the tarps to create a solid barrier such that water would drip off and away from the bales and not gather in pools beneath them. The straps ended in a heavy-duty plastic hook that could be jabbed between the fibers of hay, grasping purchase in the golden stalks. I can still smell the hay when I think about it. It was a powerful scent, grassy and warm and earthy. Not unlike the forest we're in now, but a bit less dank and damp. As we would jab the hooks into the hay, we would then pull tight a lock system that would clip shut, pulling the straps attached ropes through the mechanism, pulling it tight and locking it into place. Meanwhile, the team on top would continue unfurling and unwrinkling the heavy tarps, such that by the end of the stack, they would jump off, grabbing two of the tarp ropes as they would jump, and sort of gently but quickly rappelling down the side of the bales. Not terribly high. To be fair, it was a height that wouldn't probably hurt someone if they were intending to jump, but you had to be careful not to fall. The rain would sometimes start as we were beginning to tarp them up. There was one time in particular I remember. The rain was coming in quickly and we had to work fast. And we finished just as a thunderclap rolled across the vast sky of the Great Plains, and the skies broke forth and let out a heavy rain that tapped against the heavy plastic tarp that we had just seconds before finished securing to the hay bales. And then our job was done for the day. Rain tends to shut down or slow down a lot of the work on a farm, as so much of it needs to be done outside, and the farmers stop and head indoors, finding new tasks to keep them busy, or, if they're lucky, perhaps getting to settle down for a glass of iced tea. Some trivia about the gym leader Milo. The logo of Turfield Orchards can be seen on the uniforms of Milo and Turfield Stadium gym trainers. Milo's uniform number is 831, which can be read in Japanese as Goro Awase for Yasai, meaning vegetables. Milo shares his Chinese name with Team Go rocket leader Arlo from Pokémon Go. Milo is the only gym leader in Pokémon Sword and Shield to not use Gigantamax before the post-game, change their signature Pokémon, have a signature Pokémon depending on the version. In Sword, his new signature Pokémon is Flapple, whereas in Shield, it is Appleton. I bet that Water-type gym leader here in the Gala region is taking advantage of these rain showers if they're near her. That's Nessa, the gym leader of Hulbury's gym, which is known officially as Hulbury Stadium. She specializes in water-type Pokemon. She gives the water badge to trainers who defeat her. In the games, Nessa is the second gym leader Galarian trainers face in their gym challenge. Nessa's interest in water-type Pokemon may have been influenced by her parents. Her father is a fisher, and her mother works in the marketplace. Eventually, she became the gym leader of Hulbury Gym and a successful model. She also became close friends with Sonia during the gym challenge, and often gives her fresh seafood from Hulbury whenever the two meet up. She claims to be the rival of Milo, the Turfield gym leader, but the latter only sees himself as his own rival. Nessa is known to be very popular. Many people believe she acts differently depending on whether she is a model or a gym leader, whichever is her active role at the time. She is known to be calm and collected, but her competitive spirit and indomitable will lurk just beneath the surface. Given her personality and modeling career, fans were concerned with how Nessa would react to her loss against the player in the first round of the Champion Cup. Though she still gives fans a perfect smile, things were not as peaceful within the gym. Oh, look over there. Do you see it? That Pokemon? What is it? Do you know? I do. That's right. It's a fairy-type Pokemon. There are lots of fairy-type Pokemon that live in this forest. And that one is small and pink, and its head looks like 3 little mushrooms. That's right, it's Moralul. Moralul is a dual-type grass and fairy Pokemon introduced in Generation 7. It evolves into Shiinotic, starting at level 24. It is known as the Illuminating Pokemon. I suspect it was attracted to this place because it can have the special ability Rain Dish, and also must enjoy being around similarly glowing mushrooms and other fungi. Moralo is a small white Pokémon, similar to a mushroom. It is one of the shortest grass-type Pokémon. It has large black eyes with pale green half-circle markings on the outer sides. Small bumps ring the top of its head similar to hair. Its head is much larger than its thin, stem-like body. At the base, each stem splits into 3 green roots that act as feet. These large mushrooms sprout from the center of its head. Each mushroom has a thin, white stem and darker ring of color around the base of the cap. The center and largest mushroom is light pink, while the other 2 mushrooms are smaller and a light purplish blue. At night, Moralo can make the spores filling its mushroom caps glow. Moralo likes dark, damp areas, but changes location every night to avoid depriving the plants in any one area of too many nutrients. In addition to locomotion, its roots are also used to communicate with other Moralo. When in danger, it scatters spores that burst into bright, glittering sparks. The pulsing light of the spores can induce drowsiness. It is rumored that once when a group of Moralo were disturbed, they all threw out their spores at once, and a plane passing overhead suffered a near brush with disaster. The caps on Moralo's head are a delicacy for Pokemon living in the forests and can grow back overnight. Whew, I was worried that entry was going to be another accidentally dark one. Moralo can learn the following moves via level up: Absorb and Astonish at level 1, Confuse Ray at level 4, Ingrain at level 8, Mega Drain at level 12, Sleep Powder at level 16, Moonlight at level 20, Strength Sap at level 25, Giga Drain at level 28, Dazzling Gleam at level 32, Spore at level 36, Moon Blast at level 40, and Dream Eater at level 44. Specially bred Moralo can learn the moves Growth, Leech Seed, Poison Powder, and Stun Spore. In previous generations, Moralo could learn After You, Confide, Double Team, Flash, Frustration, Hidden Power, Magic Coat, Nature Power, Recycle, Return, Signal Beam, Spotlight, Swagger, Synthesis, Toxic, and Worry Seed. Moralo is able to learn a move that might be very helpful in this situation. Maybe we should lure that one closer. The move in question is Spore, in Japanese, Mushroom Spore, which is a non-damaging grass-type move introduced in Generation 1. Prior to Generation 3, it was the signature move of Paris and Parasect. It has a base power point of 15, maximum of 24, a null power level, and an accuracy of 100%. It does not make contact. It is affected by Protect, as well as Magic Coat and Magic Bounce, but is not affected by Snatch, and is affected by Mirror Move. In multi-battles, it may affect any one target adjacent to the user. In Generations 1 through 5, Spore puts the target to sleep. Spore cannot affect targets with the ability Insomnia or Vital Spirit as their ability. In Generation 1, handheld games only, Spore can affect a target behind a substitute. From Generation 6 onward, Grass-type Pokémon, Pokémon with the ability Overcoat, and Pokémon holding the safety goggles are now immune to Spore, as these are now immune to powder moves. Pokémon under the effect of Sweet Veil are also unaffected by Spore. Spore can also be used as part of a contest spectacular combination, causing certain moves, Dream Eater, Hex, Nightmare, and Wake Up Slap, to give an extra 3 appeal points if used in the next turn. If powered up by a Grassium Z into Z Spore, all of the user's lowered stats are reset. The following Pokémon can learn the move Spore: Paris, Parasect, Shroomish, Fungus, Amoongus, Sus, Borolol, and Shiinotic. Notice that they are all mushroom-based Pokémon. Wait a second. Why does it not? I think. Doesn't. Oh, Shroomish learns it, but Breloom does not, which means if you want your Breloom to be able to have Spore, you better level up your Shroomish enough and take good care of your Shroomish, because that Breloom won't get it back, but Breloom is way better with it. It's real good for it because, well, Spore, skipping to the trivia section, is the only sleep-inducing status move with 100% accuracy. That's right. Guaranteed hit will not miss Spore. Well, it will miss if your accuracy is lowered or if the opponent's evasion is raised. Fun fact: all Pokemon capable of learning Spore, except for Smeargle, who is a bit of an edge case, admittedly, have access to the ability Effect Spore. Effect Spore is an ability introduced in Generation 3. When a Pokemon with this ability is hit by a move that makes contact, there is a 10% chance that the Pokemon will become either poisoned, paralyzed, or asleep, with a 3.3% probability of each. If a Pokemon with this move, or with this ability, is hit by a multi-strike move that makes contact, such as Fury Swipes, each hit has an independent chance to activate this ability. If a Pokemon is immune to some of the status conditions, the chance of inflicting each of the remaining conditions is constant, so the total chance of successfully inflicting a condition decreases. When a Pokemon with this ability is hit by a move that makes contact in Generation 4, there is now a 30% chance that the Pokemon will become either poisoned, paralyzed, or asleep, with a 10% probability of each. In Generation 5, when a Pokemon with this ability is hit by a move that makes contact, there is a 9% chance of poison, 10% chance of paralysis, and 11% chance of sleep. From Generation 6 onwards, Grass-type Pokemon, Pokemon with Overcoat, and Pokemon holding safety goggles are now immune to Effect Spore. Effect Spore has no ability or special effect outside of battle. The following Pokemon can have the ability Effect Spore: Vileplume, Paris, Parasect, Shroomish, Breloom, Fungus, Amoongus, Morolol, Shiinotic, Gossifleur, and Eldegoss. Trivia. Of the 4 abilities that may inflict non-volatile status condition upon contact, Effect Spore is the only one that has not yet been activated in the Pokemon anime. Effect Spore is the only ability that can cause sleep. The other 4 abilities that may inflict non-volatile status conditions upon contact are Flame Body, which inflicts burn, Poison Point, which inflicts poison, and Static, which inflicts paralyze. There is also the ability Cute Charm, which is a bit different, as it creates a volatile status condition. Cute Charm is an ability introduced in Generation 3. In battle, when a Pokemon with this ability is hit by a move that makes contact, there is a 30% chance that the attacking Pokemon will become infatuated if it is of the opposite gender to the Pokemon with this ability. If the user or target of this ability is a Pokemon with unknown gender, such as Magnemite or me, this ability will not activate. Okay. I know this is maybe not the time or place, but I'm gonna soapbox here a little bit. Why are there no gay Pokemon? Why can Pokemon only become infatuated with those of the opposite gender? And why are genderless Pokemon immune from it? It's like NBs can find infatuation too. NBs can fall in love. What do you have against NBs, Game Freak? Let Magnemite fall in love, you cowards. Thank you again for the follow, Sucking Tom Cruise's Toes. Most recent follower. Outside of battle, from Pokemon Emeralds onwards, if a Pokemon with Cute Charm is in the first place of the party, even if fainted, there is a 66.7% chance that the game will force an encountered Pokemon to be the opposite gender of the Pokemon with Cute Charm, if it can be that gender. This does not affect a swarming Pokemon species, except in Generation 6, or Pokemon found in hidden grottos. In Generation 4 only, when Cute Charm forces a Pokemon to be a specific gender, it does so by setting its personality value to one of 25 possible values that correspond to the forced gender, one value per nature. Boy, you know what term I don't love? Forced gender. Yuck. The set of possible values depends on the gender of the Pokemon with Cute Charm, and, if the Pokemon with Cute Charm is female, the wild Pokemon's gender ratio. This has significant consequences for properties determined by personality value. As a result, when the encountered species can be affected by Cute Charm, i.e., when it is not a male-only, female-only, or genderless species, the chances of encountering a shiny Pokemon differ from the usual 1 in 8,192, depending on how many of the 25 possible values are forced by Cute Charm result in a shiny Pokemon. In conjunction with the trainer ID number and secret ID, they may be as low as 1 in 24,576 if none of the values forced by Cute Charm result in shiny Pokemon, so the Pokemon can only be shiny if Cute Charm fails, or as high as 21.34% if 8 out of the 25 values forced by Cute Charm result in shiny Pokemon. Additionally, Spinda, whose gender has been forced by Cute Charm in Generation 4 only, have one of 50 patterns, 25 for male, 25 for female. Pokemon with cute charm include Clefairy, Clefable, Jigglypuff, Wigglytuff, Cleffa, Igglybuff, Skitty, Delcatty, Milotic, Lopunny, Minccino, Cinccino, Chinchino, Sylveon, and Stuffle. Another Pokemon that can have the Drizzle ability, in addition to the Pelipper that we discussed earlier, is Politoed. Politoed is a water-type Pokemon introduced in Generation 2. It evolves from Poliwhirl when traded holding a King's Rock. It is one of Poliwag's final form, the other being Poliwrath. Politoed is also known as the Frog Pokemon. Its abilities can be Water Absorb or Damp, or the hidden ability, Drizzle. Politoed is a green bipedal frog Pokemon with yellow hands, belly, throat, and toes. It has a long, curled hair on top of its head and pink cheek spots that are smaller on the female than on the male. There's a green swirl on its belly. Its legs are well developed, and it has bulbous toes and fingers. Politoed acts as a leader to Poliwag and Poliwhirl, which gather from afar upon hearing Politoed's cry. Politoed likes to expand its throat and sing. When 3 or more assemble, they sing in a chorus with a loud, bellowing voice. The curled hair on Politoed's head is considered proof of its status as king. The longer and curlier Politoed's hair is, the more Poliwag and Poliwhirl will obey it, and the more it is respected by other Politoed. Politoed, as it only evolves through the use of a King's Rock, is rarely found in the wild, though it is usually seen living by the water's edge. At nightfall, Politoed appears near lakes to make territorial claims through cries that sound like shooting. A male Politoed's cry is said to be louder than a female Politoed's cry, but it's only that's not like 100% a thing. That's just a generalization, and maybe shouldn't be put too much stock into. A male Politoed with a deep, menacing voice will become more popular with the opposite gender, who are attracted to the opposite gender, which is apparently all Pokemon, I guess, since again, there aren't gay Pokemon. I don't understand that choice. I think there should be gay Pokemon. And in fact, well, I hope all my Pokemon are gay, or bi, or whatever. It's fine if they're straight. I don't like them less. I love all my children equally, even the straight ones. Politoed can learn the moves Bounce, Swagger, Hyper Voice, Perish Song, Bubble Beam, Rain Dance, Body Slam, Earth Power, Hydro Pump, Belly Drum, Double Edge, Water Gun, Hypnosis, Pound, Mudshot, all at level 1, and Politoed will learn the move Bounce upon evolution. This means if you are evolving a Poliwhirl into a Politoed, you are able to relearn all of those level 1 moves through the use of the Move Rememberer, but they don't do a whole lot of level up good. Politoads that were specially bred as Poliwags can learn Endeavor, Haze, Mind Reader, Mist, Splash, and Water Pulse. If transferred from another generation, Politoads can know Amnesia, Bide, Bubble, Captivate, Confide, Counter, Curse, Defense Curl, Detect, Double Slap, Double Team, Dynamic Punch, Echoed Voice, Fissure, Focus Punch, Frustration, Headbutt, Hidden Power, Ice Ball, Mimic, Mud Bomb, Mud Slap, Natural Gift, Power Up Punch, Psy Wave, Rage, Refresh, Return, Rock Smash, Secret Power, Seismic Toss, Skull Bash, Strength, Submission, Sweet Kiss, Takedown, Toxic, Wake Up Slap, and Water Sport. Alright, it's just about time for me to go take my own rest, but I've still got one more fun topic to review with you. But first, a quick announcement. Hi, my name's Cosmo. I'm a VTuber from the Andromeda Galaxy who likes creating fun content as well as cozy content. If you're here for one, I hope you'll stick around for the other, and vice versa. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Twitch. A special shout out to Sylvan Agaric, who has subscribed to me on Twitch. First subscriber. Mad props. Wow. That's wild. I'm still a little taken aback by that, if you're around. Thank you. I appreciate it. And that's crazy. That's so nice. Thank you. So, please like, subscribe, do all the things. If you want to find out more of what I'll be doing, follow me on Twitter at Cosmo_Parallax. I post a stream schedule there weekly. Last but not least, we're returning to that Pelipper that I saw fly overhead earlier. Pelipper have access to the ability Keen Eye, Drizzle, and Rain Dish. We've discussed the other two, but let's finally talk about Keen Eye. Keen Eye is an ability introduced in Generation 3. In battle, Keen Eye prevents other Pokemon from lowering the accuracy stat stage of the Pokemon with this ability. Effects that decrease accuracy without using stat stages, such as Wonder Skin and Sand Veil, are unaffected by Keen Eye. This ability can be ignored with Mold Breaker, Terra Volt, and Turbo Blaze. You know, I think I already read this one, which sort of feels like giving you the short end of the stick. So I'm going to go back to the Drizzle ability, and we're going to talk about other Pokemon that have it. We've already talked about Politoed and Pelipper, so last but not least is Kyogre. Kyogre is a water-type legendary Pokemon introduced in Generation 3. While not known to evolve into or from any other Pokemon, Kyogre can undergo primal reversion and become a primal Kyogre if it holds the blue orb. Kyogre possesses the ability to expand the oceans. In ancient times, it came into conflict with Groudon, a Pokemon with the ability to expand continents. In Pokémon Sapphire, Emerald, and Alpha Sapphire, Kyogre is sought after by Team Aqua as part of their plot to create more habitats for aquatic Pokemon by raising the sea level. Kyogre is the game mascot of Pokémon Sapphire and its remake, Pokémon Alpha Sapphire, with Kyogre appearing on the box art of Sapphire and Primal Kyogre appearing on the box art of Alpha Sapphire. Along with Groudon and Rayquaza, Kyogre is part of the Weather Trio and is known as the Sea Basin Pokemon. Kyogre is a massive whale-like Pokemon with 2 large pectoral fins, each with 4 white square-shaped nails. It has a deep blue body and a white chin area with 2 small spikes protruding under it. Above each eye are 2 white oval-shaped spots. Kyogre has red stripes around its chin, eyes, dorsal fins, and torso. These stripes glow when Kyogre is brimming with power. The tail is tattered, with 4 trailing parts, the inner ones being smaller than the outer ones. Its eyes are small, yellow, and shadowed with black. Primal Kyogre retains its general body structure, but grows to more than double the size of its base form. Its main skin color becomes a darker shade of blue, and the red markings along its body become light blue, and its eyes glow with yellow-orange irises and orange-red pupils. The markings on its pectoral fins slightly change form to form alpha symbols, which connect to its outer nails with red markings connecting the inner nails. Every part of its skin that was white in its base form becomes clear and translucent, with the large ovals on its head now connected to clear markings stretching from its tail to forehead, where another alpha symbol is formed. The trailing parts of its tail glow with a mysterious light. It has a large organ at the center of its body, 2 smaller ones aligned with large oval markings, and 2 more located in its pectoral fins. In the anime, Primal Kyogre is said to have widened the sea by a large margin, simply by taking a swim. Kyogre is said to be a powerful Pokemon, having control over the element of water and rain. It is said to have expanded the seas and is hailed as a savior for quenching areas of the world plagued with drought. Kyogre is normally calm and peaceful, but if it meets its rival Groudon, Kyogre will engage in a cataclysmic battle against it. The Mystery Dungeon series and in the Core series, Kyogre is able to fly. Kyogre generally lives deep in the ocean and is said to rest in a deep trench. Kyogre is the only known Pokemon capable of learning the move Origin Pulse. Naturally via level up, Kyogre can learn the moves Water Pulse, Ancient Power, Body Slam, and Scary Face at level 1, Aqua Tail at level 9, Calm Mind at level 18, Muddy Water at 27, Ice Beam at 36, Sheer Cold at 45, Aqua Ring at 54, Origin Pulse at 63, Hydro Pump at 72, Double Edge at 81, and Water Spout at level 90. In previous generations, Kyogre could learn Block, Confide, Defense Curl, Double Team, Frustration, Headbutt, Hidden Power, Mimic, Mudslap, Natural Gift, Psych Up, Return, Roar, Rock Smash, Secret Power, Shockwave, Signal Beam, Strength, Swagger, Swift, and Toxic. Trivia: Kyogre's shiny form is purple, but shiny Alpha Kyogre, Primal Kyogre, is like a real cool dark black teal-y, like a dark teal shade. Very cool. I don't think I'd seen it before, but I like it quite a lot. Trivia: Kyogre's special attack, and special defense and defense stats are the reverse of Groudon's. In games prior to Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, Kyogre has a catch rate of 5. Primal Kyogre has the highest base special attack stat, base special defense stat, and base stat total of all Water-type Pokémon. In Pokémon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, a Kyogre that knows Surf will allow the player to surf more quickly than other Pokémon except for Sharpedo. This action has its own animation and a larger hitbox. Additionally, a Kyogre that knows Dive will allow the player to avoid underwater trainer battles. This action also has its own animation and larger hitbox. Primal Kyogre is the heaviest Water-type Pokémon. Its origin may be modeled after the Earth's oceans, and may also be a personification of the ocean. Its conflict with Groudon is similar to that of Leviathan and Behemoth, who would start a battle that would kill them both at the end of time. Like Kyogre, the Leviathan is associated with the sea, and the Hebrew word for Leviathan is now used for whales in modern Hebrew, which may be why Kyogre's appearance also draws inspiration from cetaceans, especially the orca. However, Leviathan does not resemble Kyogre in traditional depictions. Its name may be a combination of the Japanese word kai, which means ocean, and orca, a species described as a whale, but which is in reality more closely related to dolphins. Hopefully, this rain was only brought on by the Pelipper's drizzle, and not by an awakened Kyogre. No, certainly this couldn't be a rain brought on by Kyogre. Kyogre in the Galar region is very rare, and the rain brought on by Kyogre is much fiercer than this, which is just a gentle, calm rain. It's time for me to go to bed now. but I hope you found some rest in this time. And I hope we might meet again to discuss other facts that don't matter, details that aren't important, because sometimes what's most important is what isn't. To be able to get away from that which is worrying and frustrating. Here, with me in this stream, you can just let go of those thoughts. And if you need to, this stream will be available for you to help you fall back asleep if you're to wake up in the middle of the night, or if you ever just need to have something in the background that you don't really have to pay attention to. So, until next time, I'll see you under the stars. Good night.